as Christopher Hitchens adduced. The discussion about what is good, what is beautiful, what is noble, and what is pure, and what is true, can always go on. Thank you for joining us as we strive to challenge and exemplify henceforth this so beautifully contemplated palatial essence of curiosity, free thought, and reflection, together inspired at this fireside chat. Okay, I wonder if people can hear us now. I'm very sorry, people. Everybody here's turned on. Are you able to hear us?
We don't know yet. Hang on.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay.
It's quite a bit of a delay.
Yeah, Google Meets does that, I think.
Nope. Now I can hear.
I wonder if people can hear us now.
Yep.
Oh, good. People can hear us now. I wonder if people can hear us now. Oh, good. You can hear us. I'm very sorry, people. There was something funny in OBS with an audio channel missing. So here we go. I'm going to start again. And I'll put a link into the chat into the video description that'll correct this. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. And again, I apologize for this. I'm going to start. Today, we have with us a very patient and very helpful Neil Bernstein, who is known as Neil the 604 Atheist. He's well known for his atheism community activism. He's produced hundreds of deconversion stories where he interviews atheists about their own personal experiences when leaving religion and how this affected their family, how their friends and coworkers reacted, and how things changed for them in their local communities. The stories are diverse and interesting, and Neil's video series has become an important resource for others contemplating leaving religion despite pressures from family, friends, peers, and so on, because it shows that atheism is a normal part of life for a lot of people. Neil's own deconversion story is also included in his video series, which is available in the playlists of interviews on his YouTube channel, which is included in the description of this video. For the organization of atheism events here in Canada, Neil is an instrumental part of making sure things run smoothly and that the events get promoted to atheists in local, national, international atheism communities. In addition to being community focused, Neil also cares about human rights and freedoms, quality education that's accessible to everyone, and a genuine concern for the well-being of everyone. Neil also promotes blood donation efforts and founded the Lifeblood Entertainment in honor of Frank Bernstein, his father, group, as a Canadian Blood Services Partners for Life group that raises blood donor awareness through music concerts. So, Neil, thank you very much for joining me in this Fireside Chat live stream. Really appreciate you being here. And I, again, apologize for the delays with the audio in the beginning, and I appreciate so greatly everybody's patience. Here, you've got some things, I guess, to share with us about perspectives of the number 420 and its significance in Canada now that we have marijuana legalized nationally. What would you like to say? Where should we start?
I was going to say maybe next time before we go live, don't smoke a joint first, Randolph.
So, when marijuana became legalized,
October 17th, 2018.
Yeah, that was an important day for you because you remember the date at the tip of your fingers there.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? How did you think that would be good for Canadian society and lead us to a better situation for everybody?
No, it made more room in the court system, don't you think? Not only that, sure. I mean, now that they took steps. They kind of decriminalized it, and then the medical was okay, and now they just went all full out. And there's cannabis stores popping up all over the place, like fucking Starbucks everywhere now. So, and it happened 3 days before my birthday, so I was pretty pleased about that. So I walk around the street smoking joints for my birthday. Yay! Speaking of which, I should probably roll one up because I haven't even had any yet today, and it's 4/20.
Yeah, April the 20th, the 4th month of the year.
That's right. It's also I saw a picture. It's also, what is it, Adolf Hitler's birthday today?
Oh,
and Penn Jillette posted a picture of him and Gilbert Gottfried dressed as Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Doing a totally make fun of him shtick, I guess. If you follow Penn Jillette, the picture should be on his page there. Blazing for the birthday. Yeah, blazing for the birthday. That's right. Cunt-hovened.
Yeah, well, I don't think
I don't think that historic figure is factors in very importantly in any of this.
No, someone in the chat has that name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got moderators who can take care of things if they create some problems. So,
no, it's not Kent. It's cunt with a K.
Yes, I got that.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if you knew. If you got that.
I thought you meant they had the name of a brutal dictator, perhaps. So,
no.
Yeah. So when you're talking, I worked at a company many years ago, long before legalization, where a lot of the people there would regularly smoke marijuana and have their parties after work. They never did any of the stuff during work hours. They're very strict about it, and probably some of the most honest people I ever worked with. So they had good sense of ethics and everything. They taught me how to roll up doobies. So I rolled it up, and that's about as close as I got to participating in marijuana use. And apparently I did a good job of it because they kept asking me to roll more and more of them there, and I'd enjoy the parties, and we'd have a good time. There were usually about 20 to 30 people at these parties after work each day. It was really nice Friday night parties, not every day, just Friday nights we do this. So the importance
of the rolling machine.
Yeah, the rolling them is pretty important. You have to
unless you got a pipe.
A pipe makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just stuff it in. So
yeah, I have no idea where my pipe is.
What's the difference between weed and marijuana and hemp and CBD and these things? There are differences. A lot of people use the terms interchangeably, but I know there's differences between them. CBD usually referring to the oils, right? That come from the leaves.
CBD is cannabinoids, basically. Okay. And you actually have natural cannabinoids in your brain. So cannabinoids, like the CBD stuff you hear about, mostly is for pain relief, like medical stuff. Okay, it's not going to get you totally ripped. It might get you a little bit, but not going to get you ripped. THC is the level of oh crap, and then what THC stand for just fell out of my head. But anyway, and that's bad for a chemistry guy too.
I just looked it up. It's tetrahydrocannabinol. Cannabinol,
yeah.
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, which is that's the stuff that literally gets you stoned. So you look for the THC levels, and they're on average they're about 17 to 19 or 15 to 19, somewhere in that range, average. You can get them much higher too if you want. I've smoked stuff that was almost 40% one time. And
that's really high.
It's very high.
Oh,
like good stuff is about 25. This stuff was I think it was 38, and it was like, holy crap. I've never seen anything even come close to that. That was only the one time. And we were on a boat, and I was very thankful that I didn't fall off the damn thing. So yeah, I'm not sure where he got it from or whatever, but it was the most potent weed I've ever smoked. Yeah, I was literally comatose for about 2 hours.
Something experimental from Area 51, perhaps.
Could be alien weed, right?
I jest, of course. So, okay, go ahead.
Hemp is more what they use for, like clothing, right?
Okay.
And the weed itself, marijuana, I think, is just the name of the plant, but weed is, what we call the stuff we smoke, right? Those are the buds that you clip off and you trim them and whatnot. Hang on a second, I'll show you.
Perfect. Demonstration.
Well, pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that don't need to see this. They've seen it a bazillion times. All right, so this is what I got. This stuff's called Tom Ford.
Oh, yeah. Tom Ford.
Yeah.
It's named after somebody significant, I take it?
I have no idea. Oh. But anyway, this is what it's called. I don't know. These are like little popcorny nuggets right here. There you go.
Oh, yeah. There. Okay. Yeah, I've seen those.
A little bit bigger.
They look like a kind of a pop, like a carpet kind of texture.
Oh, sure. But these are just little popcorn buds that I've got in here. Now, if Ollie was in here, he'd be whipping out his jars full of this shit. So, but I'm thinking he's joining us a little later.
Yeah, we're going to open up the microphones in a little while, and that'll be great if he's here.
I
I
shall
think
leave
you
this
said
out.
he would like to be.
Good. It'll give me a chance to when you got other folks in here, so I don't go, hey, I'm going to leave you alone for a second and go smoke a joint, right? So I'll wait till there's other people in here.
It'll be perfectly okay on here. I'll be surprised if there's nobody smoking anything on screen when we open up the microphones,
I guarantee you there will be people. So,
which is fine for today.
unfortunately, I can't inside here. You know, and I've even got. Hang on, I got another thing to show you here.
Oh, great.
Everything's within reach, folks.
Yeah, so those popcorn buds looked interesting, and they're pretty oily, are they? Or
No, not so much oily. To get the oil stuff, you got to there's a whole process for creating the oil, and you can have dabs. You can have, which is like they look like little pieces of marijuana colored glass, I guess you could say.
Oh, I've seen those.
Shatter. It's called shatter or dabs, and
okay.
And here in Canada, it's legalized, so it comes in little containers like this. There we go. Right where you see it there.
Okay. Oh yeah, when you tilted it downward a little bit, we could see it actually.
Yeah, this one's called DNA for whatever reason.
DNA or TNA?
You can put your little doobies in there. I kept a couple of these just so I could put doobies in there. No, it's just if you look at the name of it, it's DNA.
Okay.
Kind of got backwards. Yeah.
I see. Yes, DNA.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger and working at that company I just told you about, they used to use those black film canisters with the gray lids to store them. Mm-hmm. But this container you have looks like it could store probably almost twice as much.
I could probably put about 6 joints in here if I stuck them in there one at a time. But yeah.
Well, it's tall, so you can put long ones in too.
And I got this one too, and I've used this one mostly because it's easier to carry around. It's not, it's not as long as this sucker. So, and there you go. Even I put it on the top of this just because it seemed to fit because it's perfect size. A little street epistemology sticker on there.
Oh, very nice. Yes, it all matches.
But there, actually, I don't have to roll one because I've got this one that I forgot that I rolled, and I had a little bit of last night. So.
Yeah, I see the darker color at the tip.
What are you talking about? I know nothing, officer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there you go. That's pretty much what weed is. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it. You can even do it like you do those little hash nugs, where you put it. You can heat it up on the end of a pin and suck it up through a top half of a giant Coke bottle, or they call those bottle hits, or something like that. Anyway.
Now that's after processing the leaves. They take the leaves and they turn it into that. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can take buds in general and turn it into that stuff.
Now for the leaves, like there's different types of plants. I understand that there's male and female plants. I learned that from Trailer Park Boys. So I didn't know that before. And so you have to kind of mix them together so you can grow a crop. Is that right?
Okay. Well,
how does that
basically
work?
if you have female plants, they'll start producing little what do you call it?
Buds?
Well, they're buds, yeah, but the males are the ones that pollinate the females, right? Like if you have males and females in the same room, chances are your females are going to have seeds in them because they get pollinated. I'm not even sure how the fuck that even works these days. But anyway, somebody out there in the chat probably knows. But I can't remember. I used to know, and I can't freaking remember how that whole thing worked. But anyway, I know that I had some male plants and female plants. I didn't realize I had 2 out of the 12 that I had that were male. And you need bugs, I guess, to do it, right? So I left the window open in there quite often and tinfoil and stuff like that, and had lamps and stuff. So I guess flies or shit got in there, and because some of my females, the ones that were closest to the males, ended up with seeds. So that's how you know they got pollinated. So some of the bugs, I guess, were crawling around because the smell attracts insects. So even though these ones weren't particularly smelly, but they still attracted. One of my plants ended up with ants all over it, so I had to kill that one. Luckily, it was a male. So, yeah.
So the males are expendable, but the females are valuable in marijuana plant land. Is that right?
Marijuana plant land?
I don't know.
Is
Should I have called it a cloud?
But you don't want your females to get seeds, because once they get seeds, the strength of it drops. So it's not even worth smoking the stuff anymore.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to smoke about 10 times the amount just to get a buzz off of that stuff. Yeah, once your females are producing seeds, they've been impregnated, we'll say, or they've been pollinated. So, and that can ruin the plants, like for what you want them for.
So they kind of need to be constantly teased, but never delivered to.
I guess kind of, because they produce little, like they bud basically, which is the smell that attracts
the insects.
How do you know one of the male plants don't identify if they're plants, native atheists? They don't have that capability.
Yeah, just to review, native atheist had just asked, how do you know one of the male plants doesn't identify as female? Yeah. I'm sure people
doesn't work that way.
I'm sure that certain people like Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson would have a fit over that kind of humor.
Thank you. John just gave me the word I was looking for: stamen.
Stamen. Okay.
Males have a stamen, and that fertilizes the female.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you, John. That's the word I was trying to remember.
Thank you very much, John Hudson. Appreciate your bringing that up. There are different strains of this as well. I've heard about sativa. It started off with a few, but there's a whole bunch, aren't there?
Hold on. No. There's indica and sativa. Those are the two.
Those are the two big families. Okay.
That are the popular ones. There may be other ones that I've never heard of. But
what do you find is the difference between those two? That the differences that are worth noting?
Indica tends to be. When you smoke indica, you basically just want to sit and watch movies or play video games, or whereas sativa, you can smoke it and you'll get up and clean your whole house.
So sativa makes people more productive, and indica makes people kind of relaxed.
It doesn't always work that way, but yeah, okay. The indica version is the kind that kind of knocks you on your ass, and the sativa one, you can still sort of function. Like when we used to go, when I was a painter, this is many, many years ago, we would smoke sativa all the time, because you're going to get high off the paint fumes anyways. So we'd smoke the sativa, but we'd still be able to do what we're supposed to do, like paint walls and ceilings and stucco and whatnot. So there you go. Indica is the nighttime weed. Sativa is the daytime weed. It's like NyQuil. Dayquil and NyQuil. There you go.
Okay.
So if you still need to be productive, I recommend the sativa. If you're just going to sit back and watch old videos, you can do the indica.
Thank you to AA in our audience for indicating indica is the nighttime weed and sativa is the daytime weed. So that's helpful.
Ollie put a good one. Indica equals Inda couch.
Yeah, that makes it easy to remember. Thank you, Canadian Ollie-man, for that.
Inda couch. I like that. Yeah, so there you go.
So now I've heard that there are some other families of this, but indica and sativa are the big ones. I guess they all have kind of different effects, and then I guess a lot of them are probably just evolved substrains of the main ones, and they have their variation as well. Or am I completely off the mark on this one?
I'm gonna look this stuff up here.
Okay.
Because sativa and indica. Oh well, sativa and indica are the two types, I guess, and you can also do hybrids. A lot of times you'll get hybrids of sativa and indica, right? Okay. Sativa and indica, right? So you can get hybrids and stuff like that. As for the brands of them, there are tons of them.
Oh, I didn't mean brands. I meant branches. Like they get further refined. You mentioned hybrids, And yeah, so there's obviously different amounts. Some are 50-50, I guess, and some are 75-25 or whatever the numbers are.
Whatever it turns out to be. I highly recommend this app here. This is the one I use. It's a little app called Leafly.
Oh, yeah. They're a big name.
And Leafly, what's this? Oh, it's Find Your Vibe. You can also, you don't have to just roll a joint or fill a pipe or whatnot. You can also do edibles. They make edibles. Like, you remember, I used to do gummy bears all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And there's all kinds of edibles. You name it. If they can put weed in it, they've done it. And it's like brownies and chocolate chip cookies, pizza. You can even put pizza, sprinkle it on pizza or whatever. There's all kinds of edibles you can have too. So my buddy makes pizza, the frozen ones, you'll get it, but he'll drizzle oil, the CBD oil all over it, and then throw it in the oven, and it bakes into the just that way you don't really taste it, because the oil is pretty strong. It can taste pretty strong. Yeah, you can still taste it, I'm not gonna lie, but he'll throw extra garlic in there too, just to kind of hide that. He basically just gets like a pepperoni or something like that. So he drizzles the oil on to the pizza. It's probably one of the fun ways I've had it, because I like pizza. Who doesn't like fucking pizza? But anyway, I've had it in homemade turtles. I've had it in
the chocolate turtles, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. We're talking about edibles, Randolph. Nobody eats fucking turtles from the pet store.
I hope that isn't the case. Yeah.
These don't taste the way I remember. I mean, anyway, yeah. So I've had them in Snicker bars. I've had them in, you name it.
I guess people put them into brownies and muffins. Those are quite common.
Popsicles.
Oh, popsicles.
Yep, that was one of the more interesting ways I've had edibles before. They, I guess they melt down shatter, which is pretty high THC, and they put it in the popsicles, the ones you make in your fridge. They have the little pokey sticks that they put in them and whatnot. And he put them in, and I think they were grape or blueberry, I can't remember. But anyways, and he put them in the fridge. I just remember them being like bluishy, purpley kind of color. And he had liquefied shatter and put it in the mix for the popsicles, and then put it in the freezer. And like a few hours later, we were like, hey, these are fucking awesome. You couldn't even taste it. But it was pretty sweet, which is probably why you couldn't taste it. I think he put extra syrupy kind of shit in there. And by the time you're finished the damn thing, because like you just sucking on it, because it's a popsicle and you want to make it last because it's hot and stuff. By the time I finished the damn thing, I was like, holy fucking shit. I was like, wow. Holy, I could already feel it. The stuff was pretty strong. So, yeah, it was fun.
I think I'd like to. This is very interesting. The popsicle one seems to interest some people in our audience. I'm thinking back to, we talked a little earlier about when, in October 2018 that marijuana became legalized here in Canada.
October 17th, 3 days before my birthday.
October 17th, 2018. Yeah, it should have been 1918.
It should never have been illegal.
Yeah, actually, that's more to the point. Yes, the
alcohol will kill you faster, and that's legal.
Yeah. Prohibition didn't work the way they'd hoped with that, so they had to legalize it. So, I'm wondering, from your perspective, obviously you agree with the government's decision to go ahead and legalize it. So they did this right. Is there certain things that you think, in addition to that they also did very well with it, perhaps with regulation and things, and then other things that they have fallen down on in the legalization of marijuana that they could do better on?
I think what they need to start doing is, because really you shouldn't be driving on this stuff. I'm not going to lie, I have. But it's not good. I try not to, because I kind of get freaked out.
Yeah.
But they should have more commercials, I think, on TV about not smoking and driving, like they do with drinking and driving.
Okay.
I think that's one thing they could do. I don't think it's really that big of an issue. Most of the kids that are doing the stuff, like myself included, and yes, I'm still a kid, folks. I'm not like most teens. I'm in my 50s. But anyway,
young at heart.
Young at heart, yeah. I wish my heart agreed with you. I think that just more awareness of, because people, you always see those stupid memes on Facebook stuff. My son died because he injected 1 marijuana's. The dumbass memes where people just don't understand. They're always from some wacko right-wing Christian group too.
Okay, yeah.
They just don't understand. This stuff I don't think I've ever heard of anybody ODing on this stuff. So,
okay.
Although technically you probably could if you had enough of it. As with any drug, it could probably overdose, but I don't think you could. I don't think it's humanly possible to smoke enough to do that. So,
yeah, it's like people getting water poisoning. They have to work pretty hard to drink enough water for that, don't they?
Yeah, I think you have to break like 8 liters or something in half a day or something like that.
That just sounds impossible.
I know, like, fuck no, But anyway, I've never heard of an overdose. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the exception would be if somebody had something else mixed in it, then, but that's not the marijuana that's doing that. It's the other components, I guess.
Maybe, yeah. There, somebody is saying, "Oh, there's marijuana going around that somehow has been laced with fentanyl," and
okay.
I still to this day have yet to find an actual story on that. So I don't think it ever really happened. No, like it ever really happened. I think there was just someone put that out there trying to scare people or something.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff happens. They scare people about other things too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it reminded me, do you remember back in the old days, you'd hear the Halloween horror stories about, people are putting razor blades in apples.
Oh, yeah.
There was never, ever a reported case of that. Ever. So, I think the closest it came is somebody, I think, bit into something and there was like a thumbtack in it, which is not, ow, yeah, it hurts, but it's not that big a deal.
Which could have happened quite easily by accident if someone has a bunch of thumbtacks on their table and didn't realize.
No, somebody literally put it inside.
Okay.
Like inside one.
And I remember a police officer on the CBC radio or national radio station here was talking about one time about this kind of thing. And he said the only cases that he's aware of where people have put poison into candy at Halloween or at other celebrations is a case of somebody who actually knows the person and is targeting them. He doesn't know of any cases where it's happened anonymously.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're very rare, apparently. Those situations, like really, really rare, less than you can count on one hand.
Yeah,
as I recall, he was saying.
Well, yeah, no, you heard the stories, but there was never ever a reported case that I'm aware of. I haven't Googled it recently, but I remember Googling it. This is going back probably 5 or 6 years, because it was all during Halloween, and we were talking about that, the old rumors and stuff that you heard about, legends of Halloween and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So, yeah, the medicinal aspect comes up, I guess, too, sometimes with marijuana. Mm-hmm. And from my understanding is that there's, like with anything, there's a lot of ideas out there that haven't been tested scientifically. And so I'm curious, how much are you aware of some that has been tested scientifically?
There's lots of tests.
Okay.
Lots and lots of tests. That's why they now specialize in using the CBD oils for that, because the CBD oils have proven to be helpful towards pain relief. I think one of the most interesting thing, and to this day, I'm still not sure if it's legitimate, but somebody once told me that it was absolutely legitimate. There's a video that went around of a guy who has Parkinson's. And he's shaking and shaking and shaking, and he pulls out his little joint, and he rolls the joint, and he starts to smoke it, and all of a sudden the shaking starts to go away. Until he's standing up off the couch and he's doing little dances like this, and no shaking or nothing, right? So apparently marijuana can help with Parkinson's.
Yeah, he couldn't fake that because that's a permanent condition for him.
Right. Well, did he have it to begin? Look at me, I was just doing it. So
yeah,
I could easily fake doing it, right?
Well, yeah, but you'd have to fake having Parkinson's.
I'm not right, and I'm not trying to make fun of people with Parkinson's.
No, I understand.
As an example.
Yeah.
yeah, so apparently it does help. And I remember looking up that sort of information, and I remember finding one study somewhere that they had tested that out on Parkinson's people, and apparently it does have quite the effect. So at least let me see if I can find it, because it says something about it actually does work.
I think it's really good that peer-reviewed research is, and just general scientific research is going into this, because the potential for it to help a lot of people, I thought at the beginning when there didn't seem to be this research, I thought, wow, the potential here is great. If we can find new ways to help more people, then this is another wonderful point in the favor of legalizing it. So I'm really happy to hear that there's research going into this, and that it's helping people with Parkinson's.
There you
is
go.
fantastic.
Here you go. Recent survey found that patients experienced relief of certain motor and non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's disease from using cannabis. The patients reported cannabis to be very effective in reducing symptom severity. So there you go.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that sounds very promising. So are they doing these studies? Have you looked at any of the scientific studies that have been done in this area?
Yeah, I have, and I couldn't remember the one, so I just pulled it up, and it's the AGMC.
In general, do you find that the statistical significance seems to be in the correct place for these studies?
Yes, yep. It's even on the Parkinson's. It's even on the Parkinson's.org website.
Okay. So they've brought in a lot of people to do the studies.
Totally not cannabis related, but I read an article today. Let me see if I can pull it up again.
Okay.
I may not be able to. If once you read it, it kind of disappears off.
Yeah, they do that.
They now have your call ends in 10 minutes. What?
I'm going to have to put my credit card in. Just carry on. I'll just take care of this.
Free group calls have a limit of 1 hour. Fuck you, Google.
Don't worry about it, Neil. Don't worry about it, Neil. I'll take care of it.
Randolph, I'm actually not worried. But there's a study that they just did on rats that have liver cancer, and they used ultra-high frequency sound waves to destroy the tumors, and it worked. It destroyed over 75% of the tumors, or 70%, one or the other, and they found that what it also did was trigger the rat's immune system to destroy the rest of the tumors. And after 3 to 4 months observation, the tumors never came back, and they seemed to be cancer-free. So we can look for some really interesting ideas coming from that, I'm assuming, for multiple styles of cancer that are tumor style cancers. So the sound waves can be used to destroy cancer tumors. So I think that's freaking huge.
Oh, that is big. Yes.
Yeah,
that's really good.
So, okay. So Titan, I think, just posted the meta study on the cannabis I think that's for the Parkinson's, correct? Anyway, yeah, I read that today at lunchtime, and I was like, holy shit, wow, that's amazing. Apparently it's mine that'll end in 10 minutes.
Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of it. Just ignore it. Just carry on as if it's not there.
Okay. All right. If we suddenly disappear, guys, now you know why.
Oh, no, I'm just taking care of that
Randolph's
right now.
credit card got denied.
Yeah, no, it's
all the
no
money
problem.
is spent on building the studio.
Yeah, just ignore the Google notices behind the curtain.
I was talking with I called him on the phone yesterday. I was talking with Nicholas. Yep. And he really wants us to get that True North talk going. He's like,
a lot of people do.
You guys can use my call-in center if you don't even have to wait till the studio's built. Just start doing something.